Guys, we're gonna get started, and we're gonna be live streaming this on Twitch and YouTube, so just be mindful of that. The camera's right here. If you don't want to be on it, feel free to move, or if you want to be on it, feel free to move there too. But I guess Jonathan, can I just come over here and just see what it's looking like? Yeah, that looks good. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Jake, can you just turn off that fan? Okay. I'm just afraid it's gonna be loud. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. So I'm gonna start off with housekeeping today. So you're at the Hawaii iOS Developer Meetup. We have a Meetup page. Please just keep all conversations going through that Meetup page, just so kind of everyone can see it and we can kind of just communicate that way. We're extremely lucky to be able to meet here at HICapacity. It's a hackerspace. If you're interested in joining, they're always looking for members. Just go to their membership website right up there, HICapacity.org/membership. Yeah, that's a good Zach. And then you can sign up there. Last bit of housekeeping is if you have to use a bathrooms out that door to the right, it's locked. So in order to get there, you will use the key on that black lanyard right there, hanging on the wall right by the door. Okay. I next wanted to talk about the upcoming meetups. So a bit of a change up. I got a message from Aaron this morning asking if we were still doing LLDB today. But since we weren't able to finish Tetris last session, I wanted to just kind of discuss it more today. So we're kind of shifting LLDB, not to next session, but the session after that on the 2nd of February. Che mentioned that you might not be here during February.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might just come for that one.
Oh, great.
I wish I could possibly not, but because of the work schedule, it's very hectic right now, and some time frames I have to do. That's the only one I might go. Okay. And next week it's gonna be. I may skip that and rest of February. Okay. Although I like the virtual box thing though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was planning to do that, but lack of time.
Right. And I mean, I'm open to also shifting it. If you want to work on it later, we can shift it to maybe March.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that.
I was planning to do it, but because I'm still going to do it internally, but it's just lack of time. I got deadlines I have to meet. And
then just everyone, the reason I'm asking Che about his availability is we'll be covering LLDB, and that's the debugger in Xcode. And Che kind of knows his stuff, so just want to make sure he's here for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the meetups that are coming up, if you don't have a Git workflow going for yourself, I'm planning to share mine at the next one. And it's just kind of just simple commands and just a way for me to keep on top of my code. Also, I have my specific way of wording commits, so I'll be sharing that too. And then after that, LLDB and installing Swift and VirtualBox coming up soon. Vibrations, haptic feedback, and then Swift 3 versus React Native. I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, so next I want to share a quote of the week. This is a quote by Steve Jobs. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. Okay. Next one I'm going to do is I'm going to share a pro tip of the week. I'm finding that whenever I open files inside of Xcode, I lose focus just because, man, look at that connection. Is it going to go? Oh,
Happened.
Not sure. But it's still streaming on that Meetup. Sorry guys, let me just. Okay, I've got this connection going. It's connecting. Reconnecting.
Is that your own app, right? Is that your app?
Oh no, this is.
What your own device?
Okay, well, I'll wait till Jonathan gets back to do the stream, but we'll keep going. So I just want to show you guys this cool keyboard shortcut that, let's say you're working inside of Xcode and you want to just open up a single file. Yeah. Usually when you do, you can't keep this one open, right? If you click on any of these, it's going to open it in this window like that, but we don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to see what's inside of this code without losing focus or a visual of this code so that I don't have to slice my attention. So just a quick keyboard shortcut, and that's holding down Option and then when you click in the file assistant view, it'll open it in a counterpart window. So I'm just going to do it. I'm holding Option, clicking it. There it is. So I still am retaining my focus right where I am by being, and also being able to see other code in the project. So use it for what it's worth, and here we go. Yeah.
How do you unlock that?
And then if you want to close it, Zach, all you got to do is just click on
It's a little.
some nice glitch art for you guys. Yeah.
art.
So it's the thing right next to the account port.
Yeah.
Take you back to the single view. Okay, so I'm going to continue. All right. So I just shared the pro tip. We went over the quote of the week, and then just two more things before we get into the introductions for tonight. I know you guys who've been here before, you've heard me say this before, but just more time-saving stuff. SpectacleApps.com is a free window management app, so I can use keyboard shortcuts and not leave the keyboard. It's great. It's free. It's for Mac. So SpectacleApp.com. The other one I want to share is if you guys are ever interested in pair programming, Screen Hero is a great application. It just got bought by Slack, but it allows you to pair program at a distance. If you're interested in getting an invite, give me your email during this meetup, and I will invite you, and then you can invite as many people as you want. Okay, any questions before we get into the introductions? All right, so we're just going to go through introductions just to kind of get a feel for who you are, where you're from, what are you working on, what are you stuck on, what do you want to learn more about, and what are your interests besides programming computers. And I'll just volunteer to go first. My name is David Neely. I am originally from Hawaii. I grew up about 5 minutes from here. I live about 10 minutes from here. Right now I'm currently working on GPS kind of stuff. I want to do a location-based app. And on top of that, I really like if anyone has any experience or can offer any help in like near field communication or Bluetooth, so we can do like local matchmaking without having to go through any networking. I'd like to do local matchmaking. Just something interesting I'd like to work on. And I'm interested in learning more about, right now, I pair programmed last night with my buddy Nick in San Francisco. And I'd really like to, he was talking about segues and auto layouts. I'd really like to kind of learn some of that stuff. I'm not too familiar with it.
Which one?
Segues. So
using segues in storyboards?
Yep.
Yeah, I know that one.
I'm not good with storyboards either. I'm just good with.
Hey Tyler, how's it going?
Actually, without giving details, I've been working with lots of segues, and I can be of help.
Great.
Because I've been using storyboards. Auto layout, there's a book called Practical Auto Layout. I'm gonna get it and start working on that. It takes some getting used to.
Let's definitely
Me
have a
too.
talk on that
I
one.
like having too much. I like having too much control.
Programmatically, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like the part without divulging details of product, internal stuff, doing code. If I have to do some coding, because speaking with Jean-Che, I'm a developer right now, and because I'm in a some sensitive area, I have to do an NDA, but I'm working on an educational app called HICapacity. And I've been using a lot of the techniques like storyboards. I still have to, one area I gotta work on is auto layout too. And actually you can do a lot of this stuff programmatically as well. However, it does get annoying, especially with large, complex relationships, they get pretty annoying. But I've been working with Swift from 1.0 to 3 and whenever that comes out. And yeah. And really enjoyed working with it. And my focus is also writing internal code, low-level stuff as well.
Cool. All right, who wants to go next?
My name is Zach. I'm from Mississippi. I'm stationed here right now, about an hour away because of traffic. I'm working on my first app to go on the App Store. It's pretty close to being done. I'm stuck on still implementing like banner ads and stuff like that, and in-app purchases. HICapacity. Not really. I'm a geek over here. HICom in the Air Force. I'm not programming. I just fix computers.
Let's go next.
I'm John, retired, like I said, full-time app developer now, other than but I've produced about 16 apps, working on a TV app for top TV. Not really making new progress. As I said, kind of coming here just to get the motivation back. And a little bit, learn Swift because I've done everything I've been. Troy, spent most of my life in California. Moved here, about 6-7 years ago. Met my wife here. And I made games for a while when I was younger. Then I went off, did some business stuff, and now I'm coming back to making, games. Got my first game out, struggling with monetization. But I chose Corona SDK, another one. And after 2.5 years, I can do pretty much almost anything that you can do that I can do. But ask me about any other development environment, and I'll be looking at you cross-eyed. So I'm looking to learn and meet up, hang out with some other coders.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
And I'm Tyler. I'm from here, and I'm here to learn about iOS programming, since I have no professional iOS coding experience. Yeah.
Cool. All right, great. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Tonight we're going to be discussing Tetris in Swift 3 on the command line. Also, if you're interested in just pairing off on the side, you don't have to participate in the discussion. But we had a really good discussion last time, so we'll see where we go from here. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the Meetup page real quick. If you're interested, I see a lot of you have your computers. I'll be discussing this repo. Right on the Meetup page for tonight's session, you just scroll down, go to the conversation area, and then just go to this repo. Okay, so we discussed, before you guys got here, we were just discussing who has Git installed, and you guys, I remember you signed up for one, right? Are you getting familiar with it, the process and everything?
I keep backing myself up on
Good.
But that's got a lot of benefits. I've kind of explored a little bit, but that's really all I've back.
Yeah, it's good to learn. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah,
You know Git?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Git.
Okay. All right. So, if you guys want to download it yourselves, there will be a time when I'd like to maybe just take 5 to 10 minutes for you guys to just work on piece rotation if you're interested. So, but right now, we're going to just rebuild Tetris. We have a few new faces tonight. I'll go through it really quickly, and then I'll take a pause maybe halfway through our meetup time. We're currently at 6:15, so maybe we'll go about like halfway through. So the next 15 minutes I'll be coding Tetris and minus a few features, and then we'll take a break at 6:30. So I'm gonna set a timer for 6:30 and we'll get started. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start with a new project again. So here we go. Bring this one down, and last time it really worked well. We had some pretty experienced programmers, so I kind of just copy and pasted. I'm not going to be typing everything out because it's extremely time consuming. So if you guys have any feedback or want me to specifically explain one part, I'm absolutely fine to just stop everything and focus directly on that. So I have my implementation on this screen, and then I'll be creating a new one up here. So I'll be pushing code up there. All right, so here we go. All right, I'm opening up Xcode. One keyboard shortcut to open up a new project really quickly is Shift-Command-N. So I'm opening it up. I'm going to be doing a command line tool. So iOS, watchOS, tvOS, macOS command line tool. Next, we're going to be calling this Tetris command line, and I'll call it 4. So here we go. Next, waiting for it. I want to get repo. I'm just going to put it in here and creating it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to full screen it. I'm using the Spectacle app. I'm also, when I look at my code, you guys can't see that, so I'm going to change up my code display. Keyboard shortcut to get to that preference is Command, comma. Bringing it up, and I'm going to go presentation. Let's go large. Wow, it's going to get kind of crappy. Let's go presentation. So there it is. Let's run it, see what it looks like in the command line. Bring this up. There we go. So it runs fine, right? Luckily for this implementation, we don't even need foundation. We're going really simple, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm actually going to get rid of all of this, so we keep it super clean. Here we go. And I've never run one of these without it. Let's see if it even runs. Empty project. Cool. All right. Something new. Here we go. So first thing we need to do with our Tetris implementation is we need to get our game board going. So I'm just going to bring it in. And game board is just going to be an array of arrays. And I'll explain that. So here's our game screen. We're looking at it. So there we go. It's a variable. We're going to be changing these attributes in here. And for right now, I'm just going to make these all zeros, just so we can have a very standardized look of things. There we go. So I'll go through this. It's a variable, so we say var instead of let. We're calling it game screen, and it's of type int inside of an array inside of an array. So as you can see with these, we've got these outside, so it's one array, and then we've got arrays inside of it. It's 10 by 20. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so next we're moving on to creating our pieces. So I'm just going to copy and paste the pieces in here. So
Is it okay if I ask a
absolutely,
simple dumb question?
absolutely,
Since I'm new to the whole, the INT stands for integer.
it does.
Okay.
So that is the specific type that we're using. And so next I created the 7 Tetris pieces. We've got an L piece. You can see the L. And we've got an L2 for the backwards L. We've also got an I piece. And we've got a T piece. S and a Z piece. And there is an O in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so we've created our game board and we've created our pieces. So next we're going to just put those pieces together so we can get a randomized one. So I'm just going to bring in this guy. So next I'll go over this piece. So what we're doing here is, since we're not going to be mutating this at all, we're just call it a let. So it becomes kind of a constant. It's called pieces, and it's of type int inside of an array, inside of an array, inside of an array. So that sounds, really convoluted. But all we're saying is that each of these pieces is an array and an array, and we're just putting it in another array so that we have index 0, 1, 2, all these to 6. So next, how about let's create our 2 pieces that we need to show. That's going to be a current and a next piece. And for now, we're just declaring what these are going to be. We're not we're initializing these with an empty array. So we have a current and a next piece. Again, these are going to be called, these are variables because we want to put a new piece in there whenever we select a random piece from the pieces. So how about let's get the random method so that we can get a new one or get a random piece. And this one is actually going to be our first function that we're bringing in. So here we go. Let's go over this one real quick. So function defines that this is or says this is a function, calling it get random piece from. Then we have our named arguments. So our first one's going to be pieces. And what we're doing is we're passing in this array of pieces that we've created up here. And then this last piece is saying that this function is going to return an array of ints. So we go in here, we create a constant random int, and then we're using a Swift, I think it's a Swift, method called arc for random uniform, and this gives us a randomized integer that is from 0 to the count of pieces. So we're going to get 0 to 6.
You need foundation for that. That's a OS 10.
Good call.
That's fine.
So okay, we've added it in. Now I'm building it.
Yeah.
So
It's a foundation thing.
Thanks, Jay. So now that builds, we've got that. So how about let's set our current piece with a random piece, and then we want to see what it prints out. So How's the speed for you guys? Is it working out?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Alright, so about 8 minutes, so we'll see how far we can get with that. So get random piece. So I'm actually going to bring in get random piece pieces set. I'm just looking at my other code right now. Okay, so now we're going to set the current piece and the next piece. Here we go. So we're just setting this piece that we've created right here as a variable with the result right here from get random pieces. So we passed in pieces, we're getting back a piece. So next what we want to do is we want to display what that piece looks like, because we just want to make sure we've initialized it right. So I'm going to look in my code that I have here and have a function called display piece. There we go. Copying it, pasting it in here, and let's go over this code next. So function display piece will take a piece, our array of arrays with ints inside of it, and then we're just going to do a for within a for. So first we're going to be iterating through the height and then go through each piece. So the first row, we'll go through each column in that row, then we'll go to the next row, go through each column, and that's just how it goes through. And we have our limitation, our range of here between 0 and, so this first one is how long the array is, and this is how wide. Yeah. And then what we're doing in here is if the passed in piece with the coordinate height index, so this is actually going to be like it's a multi-dimensional array, and we're saying this piece, we're going to look for the y, and then we're going to look for the x inside of it. So normally you say x, y, but we're flipping it just because we're iterating through it this way. We're looking for a 0. If we find a 0, we're going to print a space. If we find anything other than a 0, which is going to be a 1, we're going to actually print a Tetris square right here. So how about let's run this, and let's display the current piece. Here we go. So we're going to display piece, and then let's run it. So I'm zooming back out and bringing out the console. Let's see if we can see our piece. There it is. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just curious what the next piece looks like.
So did that just print a random piece?
Yep, so we're going to trace it through, and I'll just do it right here. So we'll run it. Just to get clear on the program execution, I'd put a breakpoint on there, and I'm just going to step through. And actually, I'll step into it so you guys can see what it actually looks like. Sorry, Jonathan. I think the cable went out, so the code, the screen share up here, is just not working. And I'm fine if it's just full screen for tonight. Okay.
I'm sorry, what happened?
So this cable just kind of shorted out, so I lost, I guess, the connection to Screen Hero.
Oh, okay.
And that. So if you want me to do anything,
Just reconnect my screen.
sure.
Was it like that for a while?
Yeah, it's all good.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. We're getting some progress done. So I put it up there. Okay. Thanks. Okay, so Troy, I'm gonna trace through here so you can kind of see it set up. I'm skipping the current piece. I'm going over to the next piece, but I'm gonna go step into this right here, this method. So I'm gonna do a step in. It takes me to get random piece from. I'm getting a random int, and then I am picking the piece at that location.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
The UI, the UN32 is that 32 bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It means unsigned 32-bit integer. Yeah. In fact, it's similar to notation in C.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm just going to step through all the way, and so now we've got our next piece, and then we're displaying it. That's pretty much it. There it is.
Can you go back?
Sure.
Okay.
Which part do you want to see?
The way that Swift is executing, it's getting the arg4 random uniform value, and then it's putting it into a 32 bit.
So I believe, and please anyone correct me if I'm wrong, It's actually going to be, we're going from here, so in the middle, we're getting the pieces count.
Right, so it gets that, then it goes to 32-bit.
Yep, this is the cast of this value. And
Yes.
then we're going to do the arc for random underscore uniform. I'm doing command, and I'm going to click on this to take us directly to where this code is defined.
I'm just curious, is there a reason why, I'm guessing there is, that you don't just ask for an integer that is 32-bit before you put the arc for random, or is that a requirement of the function?
Prevent the compiler order, because you're getting the count of an array, which is not a unit 32, and then you're calling a function that requires.
I
Well,
see.
it's not gonna compile.
So it's a requirement of the function.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So right here we have
It'll probably just go warn it
Okay,
if you don't do it,
okay,
but
appreciate it.
Yeah, it does give a compilation.
But no, I know it's a
Right.
requirement of the function.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm just going to kind of underline this point, is that this is the function definition, and it's saying that it's requiring this
I see.
data type,
returning.
and it's returning this kind of data type. Okay. So I'm going to swipe back to our code. And any other questions? Okay. All right. So what we've done so far, I'm going to collapse our code just so we see it clearer. So far, what we've done is 2 more minutes. We've created our game screen. We've created some pieces. We've kept all those pieces inside of an array so we can get a random one. We're creating placeholders for a current piece and a next piece. And then we've created a method to get a random piece from this array of pieces, return it. And we've set up those. We've called that get random piece. We've set it to the current piece and the next piece. And then we've created a function called display that's displaying that piece. And then we're actually just calling it. So that's what we've done. So next what we want to do is, usually in the game you want to keep score, right? So we're going to bring in our scorekeeping. Super dead simple. I'm just going to put it here. So just the same thing. These are going to be changing, so we've set them as variables, calling them the names. Just saying these are all going to be ints, and then initializing them with this single call, with the 0. We have level 1 right here. Okay, so we've got those. Next, I kind of want to see what this looks like. So we want to display our stats, right? So I'm going to go display stats. I've got this function here. Here, and I paste it in. Let's just look it over. So it's just printing. We've got a label of what I want this to be. It's just calling in this integer, casting it to a string so that it will be concatenated and printed. And so let's call display stats to see what it looks like. And I'm going to call it above. Here, I don't really care about seeing what the current piece is because I want to be putting them on the board. But now we've kind of got our game loop started here, or the beginnings of our game loop. And in order to call display stats, I need to pull this function above it because down there it doesn't know. Just bring it up here. Okay, so we're going to run it and build first because I saw that error. And it looks like it's going to build fine. Succeeded, and let's run it. There we go. So now we have our full lines, time, level, score, and our next piece. Yeah? But nobody knows what this is, that this is the next piece, so I better put a label on it. So I'm just going to print it right here. Right before I display the next piece, I want to say print, just want to say next piece. Yeah. But then I also want to just have a little bit of space in between there, so it's nice. Running it again. Okay, great. So that looks like a good start. Last thing I'm going to do before we take a break is I just want to display the game board. So I've got the game board here, but in order to make it look really nice like the original Tetris, where are those Tetris photos that we have? We're trying to make it look like the original Tetris that Alexei Pajitnov created. So this is what we're going for. Right now you can see we got this board, but we don't have these extra sides in the bottom. So I'll be going over that next. And then once we get this printed, we can take a 5-minute break, use the bathroom, or get a drink of water, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to bring in my display game screen function into my code, close the console, and I'm going to bring it down here, put it right below display stats. So let's go over this really quickly. So display game screen, starting from the top. It's taking in the game screen that we've created. It's getting a screen height and width from that input screen. And then here we go. This right here is just going to create, for the first, I believe, height index is less than this. I guess for the whole game board, we're going to be creating these little pieces, the left of it, and then down here we'll be doing on the right, and then at the bottom we're going to be creating this. So I'm just going to run this with our game screen. If it builds, display game screen with an input. I'm going to press escape to get the code completion input screen, and I want to do game screen. Fingers crossed, hope it works. Here we go, we're running it. All right, we have Tetris. Well, stationary Tetris, but doing the rest of the meetup after the 5-minute break. Let's start coding some pieces and get it to drop. Do just some collisions too. So I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes.
Input screen.
Sure.
Is that something you can find, or is that
I'm gonna go.
Swift?
So this right here. Sure. So this is something I've defined right now. This is the name that I'm giving this argument. So I could have this be screen, or I could have it just David. It could be anything. But when I have it in here, that allows me, and I'm going to put it back to the screen. That allows me to refer to what has been passed in with a name.
Okay, got it. So whatever you're passing becomes input.
Exactly, yep. Okay.
So down below you're passing the table.
Yes, yep. So the table's going through here.
Yeah, that's where it gets the count.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Where you have a print score, if you write up in your phone, you just type / and you see score from
Yeah, I could, yep. Mm-hmm.
I think it's that way.
This guy. You know what? I'm going to update them all because it's a good switch style.
Actually, you can run into a problem with that sometimes. Very close. I really wanted to know. I can't figure this out.
Oh, really? How many did you have in there? Like 10?
Like 4, but there were different types.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
So if you cast it all into another drops, it's I think it's kind of
Yeah.
it wasn't really good really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
If you do multiple, be very careful.
That's enough of a reason to leave it as is then, to just define it. Yeah. Learn something new, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah. And learn why.
It was just like this year like I was like, why did you think that?
You know this stuff.
If it's in close like that, if it had it,
Mm-hmm.
it's not looked at as just a string. Escape characters.
So let's show the two alternatives, what we could do for the exact same effect. We can get rid of all of this first. So those should be equivalent.
I see. So that's the cat name.
So
With sworn,
it's more like this.
This is strict interpolation.
like plus the string and whatever you define.
My understanding, and I might be wrong here, is that this slash, parenthesis, and then a closing parenthesis, anything in here is going to be cast as a string.
String, yeah.
Okay. And it's because of that flash.
It's because of the combination of this and this.
What's that? That makes it cat name string, right? If it's a cat name string, just puts like say plus is the cat name. The slash is an escape sequence. just like slash it is a new one, or slash quote is a quote versus.
Now,
Right.
you said you could run into trouble if you have multiple.
Maybe like
Like you did slash score slash name slash date slash.
Yeah.
Like a lot of different things that they start with. Right?
Yep.
Sure about it.
So it only expects one kind of type.
So you think it would just, the compiler would know, okay,
maybe there's a specific.
I want to cast everything to string that's in here.
Maybe. I mean, you guys want to go on an expedition, find out how it dies?
Nah, not today. Not
Save
today.
it for your own time.
Yeah, save it for later.
Gotcha.
So the idea is you don't want to do two of those right next to each other. It's like slash, paren, score, close paren, and then slash, paren.
Yeah, I think that's how you would have a couple in here. So let's do level. Like that. That's what we're talking about, right? And that would work.
That work. But if you have more than that, it can be a problem. Sure. If you're the compiler.
Did you have it in the parentheses, like more than one variable?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be why.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, you gotta be a little careful with that.
So it was like that instead.
So
Okay, it doesn't like that.
maybe it expects the same type. Maybe
I think
explicit.
that would be the column. But if you do that, you're gonna do a tuple, but see what happens.
You want me to run this?
Yeah, see what happens.
Display stats. That'll be in here. Score.
The only way is to build and try out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it prints it out like that.
You learn new by trying things.
Yeah.
And you don't want the parentheses, you have to do it the way you have it.
Yeah, you've got to kind of cut it up
Yeah.
to interpolate one at a time.
Yeah.
I prefer that anyway, just for clarity.
Yeah, it seems a
I would
lot
do that
better.
to it.
So when I was trying to drag it, so I was like, let's make some proof
Yeah.
really efficient. But if you can't read it, you don't code, or you render.
You're screwed.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Exactly. Readability matters, especially if your code gets very complex. Like what I'm doing is getting complex, so I better document.
I don't know how I was getting that order. I just threw it in 3 different times.
So it's working for you now, but it wasn't before.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
but these are common, like to write variables that describe everything. Like,
Yeah.
Comments.
Yeah.
Is it actually code?
I mean, I've got some labels that, like almost have the phone almost the full width of the page. That's a common thing.
Yeah, I've
Common.
they have one thing you might want to check out if you're interested in doing the transition from Objective-C to Swift is Ray Winderlich. He's kind of the guy to go to for these
Yeah.
tutorials. He's
He's
created a new Swift style guide.
Yes.
So if you follow the style guide,
Yeah.
it's Swift 3 as well.
Yeah, I
If
would
you follow
update
that,
it for
it'll
3.
answer your questions about comments,
Yeah.
labels, and everything.
I visit his tutorials from time to time. Oh,
Yeah.
some really good ones, including unsafe pointers.
And then just kind of another gotcha in terms of Swift is that since there have been so many different versions of Swift, there are so many different versions of tutorials to do the same thing in different versions of Swift.
And-
So always look for 3, Swift
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And also, Raven, those guys,
Mhm.
they update your tutorials to the latest versions, which is good.
Mhm. Okay, so that was kind of our break timer, so we're going to get right back into it. I'm going to collapse all my code, and the next thing I want to do is I want to get the piece to move, but in order to make it move, first I got to display it on the screen. So I'm going to pull up a method that I've created called show piece on screen, and I'm just going to paste it below the display game screen, and then we're going to just kind of look into it. So let's go, here we go. Show piece on screen, takes the game screen, takes the current piece and returns a game screen. one gotcha is any argument that you're passing in here is going to be immutable. So what we need to do in order to do any changes to what has been passed in is I need to
use
create.
Either that or use it in out.
Right.
I've been using that a lot in my code.
Yeah. Is it problematic or is it?
No, me like it.
Nice.
But there are a few gotchas with that. Okay, if you use an implicitly unwrapped variable, you can't do that. The book shows you that you tells you the subtle issues. And if you use the ampersand, then out or pointer, you're really different. You reference it by pointer, and you have to be careful with that. And there was a tutorial on very good that talked about how to use pointers in Swift.
Cool. I'll make a note of checking that one out too. In the future, I'm planning to kind of just go over optionals again. Kind of have a whole, a couple of sessions on optionals where we get really deep into it.
The book, you can look at the example, read that section as well.
I'm interested in creating a playground that we can kind of walk through. Last time if you guys want to take down, if you're interested in optionals right now and you kind of would like to get deeper into it, there's one resource that is really helpful. I still don't really get the entire thing, but it's really helped a lot in getting there. It's a website called fucking Swift Coding Block Syntax, fucking swiftblocksyntax.com. We reviewed it in one of the sessions before, and it's great. It's got Star Wars references.
I got the first word.
Okay, it's fucking
fucking
Swift Block
Block.
Syntax.com. I'll bring it up right here.
And also, you can look at examples of the advanced Swift, which we cover the optional type and some of these gotchas.
While we're off the project for just a moment,
Sure.
Another question.
Sure.
What would you say is Swift's strength?
Personally, for me, I would say clarity. I love how much you can do with just so little code. It's just so clean. That's why I posted on our Meetup page, Swift 3, so clean it squeaks. It's just so clean. It's wonderful.
And you can make it as terse as you want, or as verbose as you want. Yeah.
So use my objectives and function.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. In fact, some of my function names have to be pretty long because to describe what it does. I try not to use variables like X. Oh, terrible.
Pretty verbose, just for readability, we can come back.
Absolutely.
I know what the function, I don't know what the function to do X, Y, function, grab screen.
Exactly.
Deliver to the other function name, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Yep. It just reads.
Yeah. And especially if you have long, like some of my files have hundreds of functions, having good names and that does complex things, having descriptive names help. Or both.
Yeah. I like to do it in the function, because the comment will be about a function, but if you do it with the function name, and then you find that function in another function, it's already right there.
Exactly.
Right.
It's
So you're
kind
talking-
of like commenting in the function name itself.
Are you talking about, just so I get some clarity on that, are you talking about, like, if you had this function right here, you're talking about your comments being right? Oh, shoot.
No, I'm talking about using the function name itself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
as a comment.
Yeah.
I see.
It's,
I would highly recommend that.
wouldn't like it, but I think a lot of people wouldn't like it, just because how long it is.
But there's thing called auto completion.
Yeah.
If you set it up properly.
There's merits.
But the problem is, make sure the function, your name, describe what the function does. It's too easy to write a function called add or subtract or multiply by 0. Don't do that.
I just want to take a poll. Are you guys interested in maybe some kind of an automated documentation creator for Swift?
I think that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you do triple, if you do triple thing, triple backlash, it creates a markup.
Oh, right, yeah.
document, yeah,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, yeah.
I wanted to have I mean, would you guys be interested in that? Then you can just have I'm talking about automated documentation now, so like you don't even have to document your own code.
That's a great idea, especially for my case, that's
What does this create, like, arrows? Sure.
I think it'd just be like, it sets up like, these are what parameters it takes, this is what it would return, that kind of thing. Just like bare bones, but on your comments
like
about,
basically a template.
I'm not sure if I'm explaining it.
Are you talking about something that exists, or you don't?
Both,
Yeah.
both to be honest, because I think something like that exists for Java. There was something
Java
that
docs.
Yeah, Java docs, and there was something that existed like that for Objective-C as well, but I don't remember what the name was. But you run your entire code through like, it's not a service, but it's like a program, and it creates a document for you, like an HTML document where you can click through, if it's helpful. So I'll just let's see if we can find something online. Okay. Any questions before we go back into the code? Good. Tyler, any questions?
No.
Okay, so here we are. We're back in. Show piece on the screen. So we go through this code. We've got our game screen, our piece that we're inputting, we're returning back the game screen. We're going through, we're doing the same for loop within a for loop, iterating from the top to the right, going to the next one to the right, through the piece right here. And then what we're doing, do you have a question, Troy?
I'm just visually trying to work my way through the array.
Okay, how about let's just take a break there. So imagine if you have this right here. The code that we're creating in the for loop is it's going to start here, and then it's going to go from here, check this piece, check this piece, check this piece, check this piece, check this. Finds that it's the end of this array, it goes to the next one. It's pretty much all that for loop within a for loop is done. So we're going to go back down. Right here, so I'm noticing that I don't think I put in this method, so it's not going to be able to be called. Question. So I'm going to bring that in from my code right here. So get value at codes. Here I'm copying my code in this project and pasting in the bug so it's accessible to this method. And all it does is gets an x and a y. So this would be the x position, the y position, and then it takes the input array.
I was kind of curious when.
Oh yeah.
Your function result is like the
Flipped.
function name is longer.
That's true.
Like what you're trying to do.
I tell you,
just go input array x y.
That's a great suggestion. The reason it's like this is because when I initially coded this version of Tetris, I had a single dimensional array. So I needed to create something to get the coordinates. But yeah, it's a great point. So how about let's do that?
I'm also glad to hear that you start with a single dimension array because for a minute I was really doing stupid.
Oh no. But the only reason that I did the shift over, I wanted it clean. I wanted just so clean.
Understand.
I shifted over though, but finding the position in a differently sized array is just a nightmare. Coordinates is much easier.
What are you talking about?
So coded Tetris the first time,
Right.
all these things were single dimensional array, but in order to find the cutoff, I had to have a width attribute to them as well.
Yeah.
So it's a pain. It was a pain. I lost like a day of programming trying to figure out, so
I
I
would've
was just like,
done- Or create a matrix class and then
oh, that's how you would have attacked it?
yeah. Because after all, you're doing it since you're doing an array of arrays, you could do an array within an array or a matrix class. Because matrices can be rectangular too. It's just not the width of it.
I don't have any
Something
experience with matrices, so
Okay, we can-
but I'd love to see that.
Because there was an example in the Swift programming guide where they talk about how to use arrays as an example of a matrix.
What is a matrix? Just like a two-dimensional array?
Yes, essentially.
Different functions operate on it or going around. Right. That would be called matrix x, y equals.
Yeah. Yeah. It's used a lot in numerical computations.
A note to potentially discuss that too.
And a good example was in the programming guide. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, if you're doing computer graphics, all of the stuff are represented in matrices anyways.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna update this so we can slash down some code. It sounds good to me. So I'm gonna get rid of this method. And I'm gonna update our get value at chords. Okay. So I've got my x is my width. Okay, it should be right. So, oh shoot, I covered it. Right. Okay. Oh, all right, that looks a lot nicer. Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting this at this coordinate, and we're checking to see if it's a 1. And if it is, we're going to go in here, and we are going to, so this kind of, okay, where am I right here? So this is our screen. So we're going to go through, we're getting our piece offset, which we haven't created in here yet. And, so I'm just going to copy it in before I start talking about this. Back to my code for my piece offset. Bring it into this code. So just going to discuss what the piece offset is for here. Is that the y offset is going to be how far from the top of the screen it is. As it goes down, we add to that, and we get the piece to fall down. And our x offset is going to be how far from the left this piece is going to be initially. Yes. Yeah, so that's going to be our 0 right there. And then what we're doing here is we're creating a tuple with the x and the y. I'm just saving in piece offset so we can use this. Then, go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
Piece offset changes to a struct, x and y.
Yeah.
Values, just because for clarity in our head. When we get down to the other code, like piece offset dot 1.
Right.
That's a lot different than piece offset dot 1.
Could you talk me through it? We can update it right now.
When you're doing with multiple or different like x and y, I would do it as a struct.
Good to know. This is
Like
different
points.
from my style, so yeah.
Yeah, points with geometric objects, when you're dealing with related, it's grouped. That's a good idea to group it as a struct.
So just go at the top, do a public struct. I call it offset.
Wait, so up here? I mean,
Under
Yeah.
we want it up there.
Do it after.
public struct, and then space offset point. Open bracket,
The brackets.
and then public var x colon. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then public var y.
Is there a comma after that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. And then you declare your piece offset. Equals offset by.
So we
This is where we can make up
I know, I'm going to change this to piece offset. Yeah, it really is.
there. No, it's pretty.
Okay.
Just change it once. Equals x and y.
All right.
1 to 0
Let's
to
go
x
for
is
it.
y, yeah.
Yeah, offset point.
We come to that issue when I change a struct name or.
So 1 is going to be y.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right.
It's actually
Thanks,
better
guys.
than single level.
I got it.
And in fact, if you need something more permanent, use a struct. Tuples are for temporary complications.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, but ultimately you gotta store it somewhere. So you need to have this more persistent.
Structs for persistent.
Group all related variables together. Just organize it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just want to finish the thought. You mentioned that tuples are used inside of functions. But
I just said I like tuples for what you
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have updated that, and we have our offset now. I'm building. Let's see if it's building. Failure.
Why did it fail? Struct.
Oh, it's these.
That's X. What is Y and what is X?
Right. So when we updated the piece in here, I'm using height index and width index. So I'm just going to update the X and Y.
Yeah. So we need to do that.
This one is going to be Y.
The 2 videos that too.
Okay. So that should take care of that issue. And so
Instance.
oh, why cannot we use?
Did you not declare offset?
Yeah.
Maybe it has not been initialized.
Oh,
You didn't.
that's a variable. That's the struct. You
That's
gotta
the
make a
struct.
new variable called something.
Yeah. That is an awesome call.
Okay, I need you guys to narrate me through this.
You're
Exactly.
defining,
Oh,
you're
okay.
defining the collection, is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're defining the collection there. You gotta make a instance of that.
Right, right.
Var, you know, or call it.
Var X equals offset point.
Someone put it here. Remove this guy, right? So var.
I just got back to piece offset there, and then comment out here piece offset.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then study bar piece offset. And then equals offset point over this. X
Colon.
colon. And then where do you want to be?
Okay. So
Initial
initial
X
X.
offset.
Oh,
Come on.
Do you have to always include all of the definitions of finance structure when you create an instance? Like, can you create it?
Yeah.
You have to say offset point. Next thing, if you wanted to just set the X.
Actually, yes, you can.
Within this one?
Yeah. Yes.
X.
What you can do is go up there and define it to be 0.
Right.
You equal to 0, then you can create an
okay. So you can initialize it to 0.
yeah. You make those into like 0 and creates a default initializer.
And would this be? I've seen raw value. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is this the raw value though? This is what we're setting as a raw value.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
No.
How are you gonna change that?
Okay. So piece
What's the
offset.
default?
And I would, another thing, when you're creating a struct, you really want to use a capitalize stuff or in general. What?
The structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
It should be capital. Type variables. The struct type should be capitalized, the first letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how.
Like almost like a class.
Yeah,
Okay.
because structural classes are kind of like some
Right.
with some differences.
Right. Shallow and deep copy thing.
That's part of it. There's more to it.
Okay. All right. So I'm just making more notes for myself, guys. Sorry. There we go.
It can get more complex because you can put classes within structs, but if you're not careful, you can end up making shallow copies. Then you have to, in that case, you're gonna have to use techniques like copy and write,
Okay, guys. So.
create deep copies, but that's a whole different topic.
Okay, so I want to just go for what we did, just for clarification. So we've created a public struct right here. We've created 2 variables within that struct, x and y, and then we need to update this O actually down here. Just for some clarity on this right here, what we're doing here, var piece offset is of type offset point, and we're initializing it with these 2. Is that correct? Okay. So now, and that. The difference between us using a tuple versus using a struct is now we have a named way of kind of getting to it. That's
Yes.
one aspect to it, right?
And also, if you wanted,
Uh-huh.
in the struct definition, you
Mhm.
could put the initial offset. there, have it call it true.
It'll already initialize.
Yeah, exactly.
For clarity.
Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, for clarity.
But
I think what you got now is probably best.
well, let me ask you guys, just for this definition right here, struct on the top. Do we want to have it on the top, or do we want to have it located closer to where the code is? Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Because it's still within this Swift. Like it's not its own class, right? I mean, okay.
You can put it in a separate file if you want
We
to.
just want to go wherever you want. It's like a lot
Yeah.
of times I'll have a struct file for something. I'll have
Oh, I do that. Mine is
so I'll just
even
make it
worse.
better, fill it
Okay, I
out.
see, I see.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I have to do that with my Mac because I have hundreds of files already.
Right.
And yeah, and I
Make it global.
don't make it global. Don't make it. Yeah, you don't want free structs, free functions. I have to do a few of those, but
How does
minimize that if you can.
how does if we put like 5 structs in a file, how does that not make it global? Is it because they're not initialized?
Slow it up. Nothing's global. You have to import it to every document.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
But there's a way you can do it with prefix.
Right.
actually, with Swift, as long as all the files in that object belong to one module, a form of namespace. So you can have different files as long as the files. Yeah. So,
And how
but
are
you
you?
don't you wanna, but you can also create frameworks. Create external modules using frameworks. There's some topics for that.
So in order to define, so something's like a namespace, modules, or modules like namespaces.
Yes.
Okay. I learned a lot in that amount of time. Do you guys have any questions, or you want to stop and elaborate on anything? Or just see the piece drop?
Let's see the piece.
All right. So shoot, we are already past time. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. I'm fine to stay. I've got some people coming in tonight that I kind of got to get ready for, so I'm happy to stay till 7:30.
Okay.
But yeah. But if you got to go, just feel free to go. We're going to be here till 7:30. Okay. So I'm going to just continue with the piece drop. How are you on time, Jonathan?
That's what time? Wow. Oh yeah, it's this. Oh no. Okay, offset point should be, the variable we define original should be lowercase.
Oh, okay.
The class, the struct definition,
This one.
yeah,
Okay.
is uppercase.
Okay. But when I use it,
Yeah, the instance should be lowercase.
that is so. Is that just something that you should know? Because
It's
such
a given commit, yeah.
oh, it's a
that's
style. It's
yeah.
a style. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it a style that many people have adapted?
yeah,
Just like oftentimes when you want to create a label for a function, you start with lowercase. But every time you have a
Capital case, yeah.
word,
Right.
You start with capital, but it's a
Yeah.
style that we
Right.
all kind of adapt.
yeah.
Yep.
Because if you name yours, the problem is, the reason why is that if you use lowercase for both class, struct, and your variable, you might get confused what is what.
You know, what I found very useful making a game that do a lot of visual objects
Right.
is if I'm going to define an object, I'll use say D, a capital D underscore,
Yeah.
whatever I want to call it, and that differentiates it from every other type of variable. So I always know if I'm looking at one of those,
Right.
Just a variable name, what it means. It's an object. So,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If I want to make a button, I make capital B underscore.
Right.
And you just kind of develop these things the more you code,
Yep.
because otherwise you're saying, okay, it's related to this, but is it really in fact B?
Right.
I'm not
Right.
very I'll put a little button, or a button.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or a butt, it's kind of,
Yeah.
that's kind of stuff. Yeah, it's all style.
Yeah. It's style and use whatever comfortable as long as you're consistent with it.
It also consistent with work.
Yeah.
Like, for stuff I mentioned right here. It's just something.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And try not to mix
I would
mix up
too.
the styles too. I gotta change some stuff. That's easy to mess up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, everyone has a shit.
Okay. Let's see who this is. This is number Y cannot be used in type offset form. What is that?
You have a line.
I do. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Does there have to be a comma after that?
that's what I was asking you. Apparently not.
Semicolon?
Oh, there does have to be one.
What happened?
Oh,
No,
do we-
no.
Okay.
See the error?
Sure.
I want to see an error, what the error is. Tell me.
Instance member cannot be used on type offset.
Okay, what's the
Oh, it's a capital
Yeah, but
no?
variable. Variable to lowercase?
What is the-
Where the lower?
How did you define your offset point?
Where is the lowercase? Oh, it's called piece offset there.
Yeah, that's right.
okay, so this should be
Offset
the,
point.
okay.
Lowercase.
So this is where we're defining the lowercase,
Yeah.
though. That's what I didn't understand. I was like, why is it a lowercase? Like,
No.
it's not even like explicit.
Piece offset. You want
Okay,
to use
got it.
piece offset.
Got it. That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, no.
Oh no, just that was accidental, guys. Don't
Change
worry
that
about
to offset point. Lowercase.
Yeah,
that. There we go.
yeah.
Alright.
Or you could have just simply used piece offset too, or changed it to piece offset, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. So
You're
succeed.
consistent.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna just update my notes because my notes are off now.
It happens. I've done. Yes, there is some stuff in Xcode you could use to find and replace if you need to, especially
Yeah.
shit level stuff. But you Huh?
Yeah, I want to put this with.
Objective-C, you could like take a function that you use a million times and remove it, and it should basically.
Across your whole project.
Yeah,
Oh.
so awesome.
Um,
probably a bug or something.
do you? You were talking about this one. Just find and replace across the entire.
No,
No, don't.
I'm not doing anything yet.
No, you used to be able to like highlight a function name,
Uh-huh.
like it rename, call it something new, and it would replace everything in the project that actually.
Oh, is it? Have you tried this one though? The double tab, edit all in scope. Or is it beyond the scope? Is that kind of what you mean?
It's, you know,
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. I know the fully.
So that edit all in scope will edit everything in that
Mm-hmm.
file right there, or just anything?
So just the defined scope right here. So let's say I want to rename return screen right here. Yeah, just in the function. So I go here, I'll wait for it, edit all in scope, and let's call it 2. See how it changes down there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pain, yeah. Yeah. It's fantastic. So one caveat on that one is that if you want to change the function name, it won't allow you to change these parameter names. Minor, but
What was that?
if you try to change this function name,
Right?
it won't allow you to change like the parameter names. Like, so if I change this, it'll
Yeah.
change the function name, but it won't
Yeah.
change any of the parameter names.
Oh, that's good.
All right, let's just show this piece. Let's get it to drop. So I'm gonna call show piece on screen. Might have to do a bit of changes, but maybe not. Let me see how I call it in here real quick. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is call this to display the game screen. So inside of input game screen, I am going to call. Just copy it. So instead of just displaying the game screen, we're going to display the result showing the piece on the screen piece on the screen. And so I'm going to comment this guy. Keyboard shortcut for anyone who doesn't know that one is Command/. So I just go on the thing, I can just comment it. I can also do multi-line comment tags. Okay, so let's see if this works. We should be able to see the piece on the screen. Succeeded, that's a good sign. Yeah, all right. There we go. So I think maybe this is a good time to stop. John did a lot of updates on this one too, so he's got a lot of progress going on too. But for now, we'll just leave it where it is. I think we just got to keep going with other topics to talk about during the meetup. So this is online. Feel free to add to it. If you make some changes, it'd be cool if we could work together. If you have time, if you're interested, we can keep building this. But this is probably going to be the last session until a few that we cover Tetris.
Yeah. Probably just another. How did you define what position you put that at?
Sure. So we have it in our, so we mentioned the offset a bunch. I'm going to go back up, excuse me, get the offset point. We set it as 0 initialized, but now we're initializing it right here. So the y is 0 and the x is going to be 3. So if we want to just initialize it maybe a few steps further down, at 5 and we'll run it, and we'll see it a few more down.
I get how it goes 5, 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's playing 3.
So
I see 4 period before I see that.
Yep, so 1, 2, or 0, 1, 2, 3. And then this piece, we have to remember, is actually defined with a little bit of buffer to the left of it, yeah? So that's why we have that extra one, Troy.
Oh, I see.
Yep, so it goes 1 extra. If we move it over 1, it'll line up directly. And the reason that I put this buffering is when we're actually rotating the piece, I just want to make sure we have enough white space around it.
Yeah, so that it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
clip
was
or
wondering why you
something.
did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not find this so bad.
It's good fun. I mean, I like just kind of like, you know, watching stuff on HBO, just sitting on the couch, just coding Tetris, and it's good fun. Just piece by piece, and
Right.
you can find your area of focus, and you can watch TV and code.
You know,
Yeah.
the weirdest thing from tonight versus the environment I'm coming from is Lua, all arrays start at 1 instead of at 0.
Wow.
And you, so your head's been in that long enough, you realize, oh, I get to go back and be like I'm supposed to be.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Oh,
It's
like-
one-off errors.
Yeah.
Arrays at 0. Arrays only start at
Okay.
0.
All the arrays in the C-based languages, Java, C++, Swift, are 0-based, and we need. That's how it usually starts. So yeah, I understand. In some other languages, like Lua, I guess it goes into 1. You start at 1, right?
MATLAB starts
Lua,
at
I'm
1,
talking about.
Oh yeah, MATLAB too.
and Julia starts at 1.
But yeah, all the other ones start at 0.
It's usually the ones that kind of targeting the scientific mathematics community. Because they're
Or
comfortable with
what?
the starting with 1 for
Right.
for the base indices.
I guess. But computers are usually indifferent to 0 most of them.
I'm also not trying to do that page over.
Okay.
Yeah. Right on. Looking forward to downloading and checking it out. Okay, guys, I think we're going to call it for tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
If you have any feedback on how this meetup is conducted or any stuff that you want to see in the future, or if you guys are interested in doing a presentation, I'd be very happy. Are you guys interested in VR and Swift at all?
Sure.
Okay. I got, so Eric Mead, he came to the first meetup. He sent me a project he's working on, VR and Swift. I downloaded it, updated the syntax to Swift 3, got it to build. So I invited him to come in and check it out. I'm just going to, probably through the meetup page, I want to get like a feel for who's interested in it, and then I'll try to schedule it in a way that he'll get the maximum turn off for it. So just wanted to share it with you guys.
VR.
An iPhone.
Oh, he's doing.
Yeah, with the cardboard.
The cardboard.
Yeah.
There's an
That should be
SDK for
great,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
So
So the only question I had is, I tried to open up command line, macOS command line, like integrated.
The terminal.
Yeah, when you selected your file type.
oh yeah, creating a new project.
Yeah, I didn't have that option. I didn't have that command line option.
What version of Xcode do you have? Do you have 8?
Yeah.
Might not have.
Oh yeah, you need to. Yeah.
But how would you install that
Go to
though?
preferences.
Yeah.
Inside of Xcode.
Yeah. When you update, they usually update every time you update Xcode,
Yeah.
it updates the command
Yeah.
line tools as well. You can't. It's highly recommended because using different cause problems.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I gotta get out of here. Thanks, Jonathan. We're good.
Okay.
Live streamers.